Old Blues can't remember a day like this for the race ever. A marvellous day.
Tremendous moment in their life. Some of them about to row their first boat race.
To go all out for the Fulham football ground.
It's going up in water!
And Cambridge are sinking.
Oh, wow.
This is it! Turn the tide!
Man's lost his all.
And they're level.
Oxford coming to the finishing post. This is going to be an unbelievable thing. Oh, they won! Oxford won!
Victory for Cambridge in the women's boat race.
The boat race is all about numbers. First men's race held in 1829.
First women's race held in 1927.
Between two renowned universities. Men's record, 16 minutes, 19 seconds.
Cambridge are destroying that time.
Average speed, 24.9 kilometers per hour.
Women's record, 18 minutes, 33 seconds.
320 training sessions completed.
3,500 kilometers rowed. 900,000 strokes.
8,000 reps.
480 litres of fluid lost.
453,000 calories burned.
1 million consumed.
But in the end,
The only number that matters
is number one.
Victory for Cambridge in the women's boat race. Oxford will reclaim the Thames.
Tails.
Call is tails, and it is a head. So Cambridge win the toss and choose Surrey.
So the president of Cambridge chooses the Surrey station.
It is just over 4 miles of the twisting Thames between Putney and Mortlake, racing upstream but with the flow of the incoming tide. Crews choose either the south bank, the Surrey station, or the north, which is Middlesex. The initial slight advantage is to Middlesex around Fulham's Craven Cottage. After 3.5 or 4 minutes, the mile marker is reached and the landmark of the former Harrods Furniture Depository before Hammersmith Bridge. The majority of crews leading here go on to win, and now the bend favours the Surrey station, a large sweeping turn past halfway into the Strait of Chiswick Reach and past the island Chiswick 8. Quite often into a headwind, this can be exposed in rougher water. A final slight bend to Surrey, and then it turns back to favour the north bank, under Barnes Bridge, into the final 1,000 metres and towards the finish just before Chiswick Bridge. That's a dreadful start. The beginning of the race, Oxford could have lost it.
Looks like someone's caught a crab in the Oxford boat. 4-seat there, Rebecca went very deep on the first stroke.
Well, it's difficult to see any way back for Oxford. No real chinks of light to cling to. And the finish line calls. It is victory for Cambridge in the women's boat race, and what a victory! And Oxford, rather tired, certainly dejected, come home a distant second.
It's not revered, but I wouldn't say that means I don't think about the fact that Cambridge won last year. So I guess in a way that does make you want to win more, because you want to know what it feels like. We're working just as hard as we were last year for the same goal. Every morning we have an erg session. That'll be kind of less like an hour of something steady, and then have a couple of hours to do some work and have some lunch, and then we'll go rowing in the afternoon, and then I'll get back from rowing and do more work, have some dinner and go to bed. It is intense, but there's a routine and you know what you're following, and you're surrounded by people that are doing it as well, so you don't really have time to sit back and look, oh look, what I'm doing is so intense because everyone else is doing it. I like the routine as well. I like a structure, I like a timetable, goals to focus on. I think definitely last year I almost felt less pressure because I was younger, and I was aware this year that although I'm the youngest, people are going to look up to me and watch what I'm doing. Having done the boat race before, I think some people look to me for some experience.
Yeah, take your time.
I know what the goal is, and it seems closer than it was last year. We have put a lot of hard work in, and I want to show everyone how well we can perform as a crew.
Beth is always one of the people that you can hear laughing from a very long way away.
I'm sitting at the stroke seat and I'm always looking at Jess, who's always shouting directions at us. This is Abby. She's incredibly funny and always looks after me. She's terrified of birds and water, ironically. So this is Sarah. She's probably the loudest and funniest member of the squad. I'm so sorry, Abby.
Sat behind me is Morgan. She is a fierce competitor.
You're way more competitive than I am. I'm in the 5 seat. Sitting behind me in the 4 seat is Alice Roberts. Alice is one of the first friends I made at Oxford, has great taste in music, and is often our bus DJ.
Behind me is Juliet in the 3 seat. My favourite animal is a cow.
But my favourite animal is a giraffe. Behind me in the 2 seat is Catherine. Catherine has the best selection of unicorn, rainbow and high-vis clothing in the squad.
It just makes you go faster.
In the bow seat, and the first to cross the line if we win, is Renee. And Renee's last name means cabbage.
That's right.
I'm Sophie. I am the cox of the Cambridge women's boat this year.
Long and strong.
I grew up in Putney, so I've been watching the boat race all my life, so to be in it is pretty crazy. When I was growing up, we always used to watch it. Either we'd go down to the riverbank or on TV. It was always a big event for us. When we were training at school, we'd see, Oxford and Cambridge come down and do their tideway training, and we'd always stop and just stare at them in awe. No pun intended there. It's crazy to think that I'm going to be out there on the stage this time. I think the tideway experience I have is going to be a real advantage for me. I know where the quickest water is. I know that the conditions can change any second. It's kind of second nature, so yeah, I think it is going to be an advantage. I think I've got the voice for being a cox. I've always been quite loud. It's always hard, you get personalities within the boat that are going to be stronger than others. But my job is to kind of gather everyone, compose everyone, get everyone working together. So, yeah, I think I do a half-decent job of it. Outside of rowing, I do quite a lot of media stuff, so I've been really interested in radio. But this year, I've had less time because of training for the boat race, obviously. Instead of doing that, I've actually used the time to kind of make a podcast.
So I've just arrived at Goldie Boathouse for our last go before we go to the Tideway for Tideway Week. Everyone's pretty excited.
I kind of wanted to show people or give people an insight into what we do here. Growing up in Putney, the boat race has always been part of my life. For me, it's almost like my Olympics. It's probably the biggest sporting event I'm going to ever do in my life.
Liver's loud, Liv's bubbly, and that's exactly what we need in the boat race for sure.
When I look at her, I'm pretty amused because she has these really funny facial expressions she makes when she's thinking super hard. Behind me is Miriam. She's kind of the glue that connects me and Sophie with the rest of the boat.
Starring at the back of my head is Alice. She's a babe, and then...
In the blue boat this year is Paula. She's probably one of the quietest people on the team.
Sitting behind me is Tia. Tia is super strong.
Behind me is Kelsey in the 3-seat. Sometimes she makes a noise, and it's not really a word, but I kind of know what it means.
Behind me is Imogen. Imogen brings a lot of fire to the boat. So Kelsey sits in front of me in the boat. Behind me is Trisha. She always wants the best, but sometimes she's the grumpiest in the boat.
just hold water for me. Release. Okay, Matt's still sitting down, so nothing's going to happen in the next 30 seconds, okay? It's all fine.
Right, everybody happy?
Okay, just hold water for me, please. My hand is up. Okay. Sit forward.
Both crews, get ready.
Okay, release. Okay. My hand is coming down. Their hand is down.
Cambridge, Oxford, attention. Go!
Squeeze. Squeeze it. Build. 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 Long. 44. Attack it. Here. Lever. And strong. Lever. Next stroke. Up speed, Oxford. Send it. Long. Yeah, good. Right, we're gonna have our first shift to rhythm. In 2. In 1. Finishes now. Finished. 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 Yeah, great 40. As long as you can make it. Finished. Finished. All rhythm. Finished. Hands up. Yeah, good rhythm, Oxford. Ready? Go. There's your first hands down. Hands up. Hands up now. Heels. Heels. Yeah, nice. Coming through the black boy here. Bend! Bend! Coming up to the 2-minute timer. I want you to push through the pace. Great. Holding it long. Yeah, good. All right, Oxford. Coming onto our bend now. They've started to move. They feel the bend. To the milepost. Let's go past them points. Absorb their push. Make the most of our bend. Next stroke. Hold it long. Ready. Now. Hang long. Hang long. Good hang long. This is their advantage. Yeah, good, Oxford. Hang long. As well. Yeah, we're moving now, Oxford. Yeah, great. 45. Beautiful rhythm. Take your seat. Yeah. That's it, Oxford. All right, Oxford. As we come out of the bend, we're going to press it on. This is our hard fuck up phase. I want you to move those legs and those buns together as a crew. Let's open out this real water. Legs and buns. Legs and buns. Legs and buns. Yeah, good. Next stroke. Go. And buns. Swing. Together. Swing. Nice. Swing. Yeah, good. That coming back. Stay loose and composed. Have a new swing through. Hips there. Still in contact. Hips there. Hips there. It's going to be a long race. We're going to stay on our base. Pace. Past the mile pace. We're going to really step long towards every single stroke. Now. Bend before the pin. Length. one length.
Come on, Cambridge!
Yeah, good. Now give me 5 more like that. Push. 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 Ready? Nice. Go. Yeah, good. We're holding Watford. You're out of length. And not going anywhere. I want you to hold it long now. Long. And every single stroke. Yeah, good. Send it long for me, Oxford.
In front, yeah. In front, yeah, Cambridge. Moving away every stroke.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, girls.
Through the
I
heels.
want you to pick it up.
Next stroke.
Go.
Heels. 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 Yeah, Cambridge.
Yeah,
Nice.
Heels. They're doing a big bit of steering. They just about hit that last point. Now moved out to clear water. Holding them. And we are holding them. Good job, Oxford. Moving together as a crew. Okay, coming up to Harrods now. We're going to have our Middlesex push. We're going to send those legs and backs together. Are you ready? Now! Legs and backs. Legs and backs. Legs and backs. Yeah, good. Legs and backs. Legs and backs. Legs and backs. Nice, Oxford. Ready?
Go. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Yeah, good, Cambridge. Long and strong. Hands up. Hands up. Nice. Now let's get the heels down. Heels. Heels. Heels.
Yeah, nice. Okay, guys, we're coming up to Hammersmith Bridge here. All this noise, it's all for you. Listen to it, absorb it, and keep testing it out.
Three. Yeah, Cambridge.
We're on the inside of the bend. We're going shorter distance. Finish. 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 Yeah, good, Oxford. Okay. They're starting to get tired now, I can see it. They haven't moved and they're not going to. We're on 33. I want us to find a nice flowing 35 by really giving it a push through the second half to the finish. Yeah. Finish. 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 Yeah, good. 34 and a half. Now keep it. Finish. 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 Good. Cutting through some poles now. Yeah, nice. Keep it fluid. Flowing along. Right. back into it. We're gonna lift the bows. We're gonna move. And 2. And 1. Go now. Send. Yeah, Oxford. Send. Good. They are not moving. We're on 35. On our best rhythm. Send. Yeah, good. Straight right here. We're going to work really hard down this straight. Send it. Yeah, there we go. We are starting to come back now. They are tired. They are not as fit as us. And we are starting to move back. Yes, Oxford. Squats. 8 of us.
Calves, quads.
1 of them.
Yeah, solid.
Our fitness.
Into the steps. Out there, you're going to cross this
Everything
first.
that Andy
Trish,
really
Imo.
knows this year.
Hands up.
Trust in it.
Hands up.
Keep pushing it out.
Hands up.
Long and loose.
Taya, Paula.
Yeah. Good.
Quads.
Okay, Oxford. Coming up to the last bit of their bend.
Alice.
We're going to need to do everything we can to come back into this now. I want you to hold it long. Press out those finishes. Ready now. Finish. Yeah, good. Finish. Nice, Oxford. Okay.
Every stroke now.
Last part of the bend here.
Let's get back the end of the front. 10.
Let's do the next one. We're just going to keep going. Second along. On our rhythm. Trust our fitness. Together. There you go. Feel that wash. Feel us reeling them back in. Alright, we're at 33. I want us to take it up to our dynamic race rhythm. Pressing out the finish. Flexing off the back. Ready, Oxford. Now. Finish. Yeah, good. Going faster than here now. Pressing. Almost where the bend changes. Straight right on. The next 200 meters. We're going to make the most of it. Sophie's leaving
Long and strong. 13 minutes in. Grip, set. Grip, set. Grip, set. All day, Cambridge. Own this. I want to feel the hang and swing.
Hang.
Into.
Hang.
Next stroke. Go. Hang, swing.
Still haven't moved on.
Swing.
We're still in this.
Swing.
You can still feel that puddles coming under your bows.
Swing. There. Yes, relentless.
Start to bend now.
Enjoy this. Remember this moment.
We're going to stay in this game, Oxford. We're going to press it out. Every single stroke. Yeah, nice. Hang and set. Hang and set. Hang and set. Good. Hang and set.
Next stroke. Now, Alice. There. There, Kelsey. Set. Yeah. Paula, let's go. Next one, 38. Taya, send that down. Set. In. Set. Yeah, all day. Out there. Hands up. Shot catches. Go. Shot. Yeah, remote. Shot. Yeah, Trish. Shot. Yeah, so there. Feel the swing now. Hang and swing. Go. Yeah, Liv. Hang. Swing. Hang. Swing. Yeah. Hang. Swing. Yeah, Miriam. There.
Hang on and send it. Send it. Yeah, good. I've got a great line into Barnes Bridge. They're really wide. They're going to have to do a lot of steering. I want you to press it out for me now, Oxford. We're going to have 10 nice sharp catches coming into the bridge. Ready? Now. Sharp. And loose. Sharp. And loose. That's it. Go. Okay. Coming into Barnes now. We're going to give it a good, solid, big push into
2, 3, yeah? All the way now, Cambridge. Send it, let's go for that record. Hands up. Hands up. Next stroke. Go. Hand, swing. Hand, swing. Hand, swing. Big shoulders. Relax the head. Yeah, hips through. Hips through. Yes, Cambridge. Relish this. Absolutely relentless. Every stroke going for more. 1 inch more than any other previous open factory. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up.
Here. Finish here. Finish here. Yeah, good.
Next stroke. Go. Finish there. Finish there. Yeah, Trish. Hold. 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 Yeah, that's it. All day long now, Cambridge. Last 200. Hands up. Down. Ready.
Yeah, that's it, Oxford.
Yeah, Emma. Yeah, Paula. Yeah, Tony. Yeah, Miriam. Yeah, Liv. Last 10. Now. Legs. Legs. Legs.
Down. Push. Now we send them. Yeah, good. Yeah, there we go. We are starting to come back now. They are tired. They are not as fit as us. And we are starting to move back. Yeah, that's it, Oscar.
Yeah, Emma. Yeah, Paula. Yeah, Tony. Yeah, Captain. Yeah, Miriam. Yeah, Liv. Last 10. Now. Legs. 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 Here we go. Get ready. Watch out. Yes. Yes. Yes! Woo! Yeah! Hi, Mom! I'm on the telly!
Thank you very much indeed, Claire. Yes, Tricia and Sophie alongside me. Now, I've seen some celebrations in my time doing this job, but those were just magical scenes coming off the water. What a blistering start, Trish.
Yeah, I mean, like, the flag went down and we were off, and like, before we knew it, we were 10 strokes in. I don't even remember it, to be honest.
Such a well-drilled outfit, aren't you, Sophie?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been doing the same thing over and over again for a month now, so, you know, we knew we just needed to go out there and do the job.
It was a little overcast coming out today, and we thought there might be a little bit of rain. Conditions perfect for the type of game plan you had today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I noticed the wind at all. Even if it was sunny, I don't think it would have made a difference. So yeah, perfect conditions for us.
Do you know what's amazing about you guys? We saw before the race as well that our camera's been following you, and you've looked so relaxed, so calm going into the race because you've got such an experienced crew, haven't you, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we've got two double world champion in the stroke seat, so you know she's done a lot of races in her time. We've just tried to keep the banter going, and you know that's been really working for us, and it paid off.
Great team spirit, we should say as well. What about Rob Baker as well? He's been remarkable, hasn't he?
Oh, Rob has been incredible this year, and I mean every year before as well. He's just, gotten everything right in terms of the training plan, and can't fault him really.
He's an utterly brilliant coach, isn't he, Sophie?
Absolute legend, Rob, yeah.
Big party tonight, girls, by the way? Big party?
Huge party.
You better get ready because we've got the trophy presentation starting very shortly. Tricia and Sophie, I'll allow you to go back and celebrate now. There's some flossing going on by there as well. There's some dancing, flossing going on, which you guys have been doing as well. Amazing stuff.
Swish.
I'm not the swish, the floss, whatever it's called, it's looking good. Thank you very much indeed. Have a great day. Thank you very much indeed. Top stuff.
In sports, it doesn't work out the way you want it to.
Very true. Wonderful words. But you do have to also pay tribute to that Cambridge crew as well, because they are so experienced, aren't they?
You know, Cambridge assembled a really good crew, and we had a lot of people that learned to row at Oxford, myself included. And I'm crying now, but I'm actually really, really proud. I think we achieved way more than we thought we could do. If you saw us in September, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So I think from day one, we just went out and said we want to try to be better. And that's what we did all season, and that was the culmination of it. So, you know, sometimes in sports, it doesn't work out the way you want it to.
Very true. Wonderful words. But you do have to also pay tribute to that Cambridge crew as well, because they are so experienced, aren't they?
Definitely. They were a really good crew, and it was an honor to get to race them, and yeah, it was a good race.
But as you say, your crew have done you proud.
Definitely.
Thank you very much indeed. I know it's hard, but thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Yes, welcome to the presentation party. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our team. Welcome to Hanneke Smits, CEO of Newton Investment Management, Sir Harpal Kumar, CEO of Cancer Research UK, and the boat race company representative, Fergus Murison. Please give them a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. A very warm welcome to all three. Well, what a start today, ladies and gentlemen, then, here on the River Thames for the boat races. First of all, would you please welcome our runners-up, Oxford, ladies and gentlemen. Led by Renee Coulshine, President Catherine Eriksson, Juliet Perry, Alice Roberts, Morgan McGovern, Sarah Kushma, Abigail Killen, Beth Bridgman, and Jessica Buck. Ladies and gentlemen, our runners-up, Oxford. fabulous to hear the Oxford supporters cheering them here. Wonderful competitors today. But ladies and gentlemen, what a resounding win for Cambridge! Led by Vice President Tricia Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Imogen Grant. Paula Wesselman. Taya Zabel. Kelsey Baralak. Keep that cheering coming, ladies and gentlemen. There are winners. Alice White. Team Captain Miriam Goudet Bukatmi. Then we have Olivia Coffey. Big cheer for Olivia. At last, but certainly by no means least, Sophie Shapter the Cox, ladies and gentlemen, who's just done a wonderful job on live television in her interview as well. There's a future in broadcasting there, I think. I know you love broadcasting. And also joining us on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Baker, the coach of Cambridge University. Hello, Rob. Okay, before we do the trophy presentation, Miriam, if I can just ask you to step forward and just have a very quick chat, because as captain, you are going to be presented with the trophy, but you must be so, so proud, not only of your team here, your crew, but everybody who supported you.
Yeah, it's just an awesome squad, and there are so many people beyond everybody here, Rob, the senior committee, everybody. And I just want to say a big shout for Daphne, because she has been the president and Trisha was the vice president, and I'm just here like just to represent Daphne.
This is Daphne Martushenko, who's in the reserve. Couldn't get into this crew. Very well said. But also I wouldn't mind a few words as well for Oxford, because on our live programme a short time ago, they paid tribute to you, a wonderful crew.
Really, but we could. This race is Oxford Cambridge, so it would be not possible without them. And it has been an awesome race. And thank you, Oxford. Woo!
And just before we get the fizz going and the trophy, you've won this before. How does this feel?
Every year is different. It was a new race, a new challenge, a new crew. It's the same joy. It was just awesome.
You have been wonderful, Miriam. Lovely to see you. Many congratulations. There's the trophy. I'm getting out of the way. Otherwise, I'm about to get covered in fizz. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Well done.
The 24th boat race was to be one of the most memorable.
Oxford have taken half a length start, and water looks good at this stage.
A length the lead for the Dark Blues at Hammersmith.
There is some extraordinary rowing going on out there.
But trouble round the bend.
And this really is a race. Look at the conditions too. It really is very rough.
At Barnes Bridge, the Cambridge comeback ended.
Cambridge have really caught the water now, and Cambridge are sinking. There they go, and now it's panic. Now we must have the rescue. We must come in for the rescue.
Oxford pushed on to victory.
There's the cheers, there's the hands up. What a finish. Unbelievable.
20 years later, another groundbreaking boat race. Cambridge, the reigning champions, with the heaviest crew ever assembled.
And away we go.
On a serene river, the racing was less than calm.
The blades are very close.
There is a real danger here. This is definitely a foul.
Cambridge charge into the lead.
We could have the fastest race of all time here.
And to a course record. 16 seconds. Glory for the not-so-light Blues.
Heads.
It's heads. Come over. It's called heads, and it is heads. So Cambridge win the toss. Which station would you like to call?
Surrey.
So Cambridge have chosen Surrey.
Of the twisting Thames between Putney and Mortlake, racing upstream but with the flow of the incoming tide. Crews choose either the south bank, the Surrey station, or the north, which is Middlesex. The initial slight advantage is to Middlesex around Fulham's Craven Cottage. After 3.5 or 4 minutes, the mile marker is reached and the landmark of the former Harrods Furniture Depository before Hammersmith Bridge. The majority of crews leading here go on to win, and now the bend favours the Surrey station, a large sweeping turn past halfway into the Strait of Chiswick Reach and past the island Chiswick 8. Quite often into a headwind, this can be exposed in rougher water. A final slight bend to Surrey, and then it turns back to favour the north bank, under Barnes Bridge, into the final 1,000 metres, and towards the finish just before Chiswick Bridge.
So Future Blues is a project all about giving young people around the Thames an opportunity. An opportunity to realise their potential through rowing and take the skills they learn out on the river and apply that to the rest of their lives.
I've lived around here, so I've seen the people rowing the river and thinking, oh, I'd love to do that one day. And then we get the school saying, oh, we're going rowing, and I was quite happy about that.
Well, I was quite scared at first because I thought, you know, we'd have to get into it properly and we'd have to be fast and competitive. But really and truly, they took it at our own pace and we learned properly, and they was always supportive of us if we made a mistake.
The biggest benefit for me is it keeps me fit, keeps me healthy, and I have fun with my friends on the water whilst staying fit and healthy.
The biggest benefit of rowing is the thought of being with people I might not know, being there for them being for me. We go on open water, we try our best and come back not with our heads down, but our heads high.
I'd never rowed before the first time I came here, so it was a new experience and it was like a fun opportunity for us.
It's really important for state schools to be involved in rowing because of the unique benefits you get from the sport, like teamwork, like focus, like confidence. And so I think it's really important that we're able to offer those opportunities to the state school sector.
Future Blues to me is personally very, very important. I've seen firsthand that actually participation in sports helps children from disadvantaged backgrounds to close the educational gap.
"100 years ago, two crews took to the river for the 1914 boat race. But within a few short months, the world was turned on its head. The Great War had begun.
The war changed this city and this river. The boat race was suspended. The 1914 race was the last time it was rowed until 1920. But in the meantime, this river continued to play a vital part, as it has done through the centuries, in our nation's history.
It's where the ships turn up. This is where food is arriving for the city.
We'd be looking at the Thames now. It would have been absolutely packed with barges, war supplies travelling from factories upriver down to the Thames
Absolutely,
estuary.
it would have been a very, very industrial, arterial route for the war supplies.
The Thames was crucial in keeping the lights on and the population fed, but it also played a key part in the military conflict with the first aerial attacks on the city.
It's not like the Second World War blitz, but hundreds of people are killed and are injured, and there's a lot of damage done.
And would they have been using the Thames to navigate their way into central London?
Absolutely, yeah, as they did in World War II.
The National Portrait Gallery in London's got an exhibition of images of the men and women who served during the First World War. The Oxford and Cambridge boat race crews of 1914 virtually all served. I've been able to find war records for 17 out of the 18 oarsmen.
That's Cambridge crew. How far do they realise what's going to happen? Or is this all blissful naivety, or have they been reading between the lines when they've been reading the newspapers? Ritson and Livingstone.
Oh, great.
He makes it, he doesn't.
So he dies in the war?
He dies in the war, age 23. He's dead slightly over a year after the boat race.
Of the 18 men who rowed on that March day, 5 would not be coming home.
In all, 42 Oxford and Cambridge boat race rowers died during World War I. Perhaps the one that's left the most lasting legacy was Septimus Kelly, who rowed in 1903. He went on to win a gold medal at the Olympics in 1912, and then wrote the most beautiful piece of music for his friend, the war poet Robert Brooke, when he was killed at Gallipoli. Kelly himself went on to die on the battlefield of the Somme, charging a machine gun in 1916. Why do we see such high casualties for the people that row in the boat race?
The clue's in the title, the University Boat Race. These strong, intelligent, well-educated young men. They're not the senior officers. These are the young, keen men who have to show that they're willing to put their necks out in front of their ranks. And that cuts a swathe through them, inevitably.
The Oxford and Cambridge rowers who were killed during the First World War were just a tiny handful of the hundreds of thousands of young men who gave their lives in Britain's bloodiest ever war.
Rowing kind of attracted me because there was this sort of sense of repetitive rhythm, which as a musician that attracted me. One of my friends happened to be a coxswain himself and just said, "Do you want to give coxing a try?" And I thought, I'm quite light and I'm a conductor already, so I kind of have those leadership capabilities, so yeah, I'll give it a shot and see how it goes. It's quite hard to persuade people to become coxers because, well, if you look at coxing from the outside, you're essentially sitting in a boat, getting cold and wet, telling people what to do for hours on end. But it feels quite similar in a cognitive way, coxing and conducting. One side of it is the deeply analytical side that I really enjoy. Using my eyes, using my ears, and also using my body to feel what's going on in the boat and feeling the rhythm. And then absorbing all of that data and relaying it back to the rowers. You kind of have to be all-seeing and all-feeling, analysing what you can see and what you can hear. Blades going in at the same time, coming out at the same time, how high they are off the water. That kind of analytical side crosses over from what you're sensing in an orchestra. Are people playing in tune? Is the violin playing loud enough? All of that stuff is, quite transferable.
Okay, so coming up to the first 12-stroke burst, this one at rate 34.
In both roles, you really have to know how to handle yourself with groups of people and make the best out of a collective.
Okay, good job, guys.
Studying for a Masters in Musicology, and says it is the rhythm of rowing which attracted him, and that coxing a boat is just like conducting an orchestra. His first time in the Blue Boat. The youngest in this boat and in either crew, just 18 but one of the brightest talents in British rowing, Drinkle won gold in the men's 4 at the Junior World Championships last year. A story of persistence, the president finally getting his chance in the Blue Boat, 3 times in ISIS and a silver medalist in the lightweight 4 at the Under-23 World Championships. Not as experienced as the man he's replacing in Josh Bugajski, but the 20-year-old engineering student has rowed internationally, winning bronze with the British men's 8 at the World Junior Championships 2 years ago. Geffen returns to the Blue Boat 3 years after his one previous appearance, when he was the first man to cross the line, sitting in the bow seat for the Dark Blues in their comfortable win. Weiss brings plenty of international rowing experience, having represented the United States in the men's pair at the World Championships and the Olympic Games in Rio. A 25-year-old from the Eastern Cape represented South Africa at the World University Games and is studying philosophy, politics and economics. Ragusis grew up in Oxford and returns for his second time in the Blue Boat after sitting in the stroke seat last year. Graduated from Boston University and is now studying for a Masters in Clinical Medicine. The lightest man in the boat, Klaas Mertens, won gold at the World Championships 3 years ago with the German lightweight men's 8. He moves up from stroking Oxford's reserve boat Isis last year.
Good. Okay, and come across. Up the head. Ready. Go. Roll it over.
Good morning. Good morning. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so we always make sure we have a good one. There we go.
So my name is Robert Hearn. I'm the 7th seed of the Cambridge Blue Boat.
Don't put the knife in the toaster, you may die.
He's a bit of a joker.
Gordon Ramsay, how would you review this?
Looks like vomit. It's all good fun, and he likes to push everyone's buttons a little bit.
This is the Breakfast Club. Yeah, this is all the boys.
I'm studying nuclear engineering at St Edmunds College, Cambridge, and I'm going to be part of this year's boat race. I definitely use rowing as a way to get away from the academic and other distractions in life. Just when we're out there on the water, it's kind of just keyed into what you're doing. When you get out to Ely, when you're on the water, nothing else really matters. It's a great way to get away from things. The team, I love the team. I love the guys that I'm rowing with. We have so much fun together. Growing up, used to watch the boat race every year. Funnily enough, my father studied economics at Oxford, so we would always support Oxford actually growing up. I'm rowing for the light blue, which I'm incredibly proud of. My dad said he'll support light blue this year, but that's it. Next year it's back to Oxford. I'm not actually a huge talker when it comes to pre-race things. I'm more of a hype guy, get everyone a little G'd up. But I will certainly just offer a few quiet reminders that we don't have to go out there and do anything special, because when you try to, that's when things start to go wrong. One of the biggest things in terms of seeing this legacy around you is the Goldie Boathouse. You go into it and you go up to the captain's room upstairs, and the name of every single athlete that has done this is on the wall, and you're just kind of surrounded by this history. The other years, they're great. We learn from them for sure, but this is our year.
It's the boys!
The president of the Light Blues, the 21-year-old, is studying chemical engineering, and after coxing Goldie for a couple of years, he made the step up last year to steer the Blue Boat and is determined to make amends for that narrow defeat.
Super confident.
Another of the bright young talents in British rowing, Freddie Davidson, is still just 19 but returns from the Blue Boat last year where he sat in the 2-seat and knows this river so well, having gone to St Paul's School in nearby Barnes. Born in Glasgow, raised in Australia with a degree from Yale University, Rob Hearn is studying nuclear energy at St Edmunds College and is firmly established as part of the British national setup. The 23-year-old from Illinois is, like Anders Weiss in the Oxford 6-seat, a graduate of Brown University in Rhode Island and is studying management at Hughes Hall. Another American who has curiously come to the UK to study American history, a graduate of Dartmouth College in New Hampshire who's been keenly watched by the US national squad. Born in Brooklyn but grew up in Boston, the 24-year-old with dual British and American nationality rowed with another member of this crew, Finn Meeks, to a silver medal for the USA at the Under-23 World Championships. Letton provides some of the real power in the boat, as you might expect, as the American is, at 6'10", the tallest man to ever row in the race. He returns from the losing Blue Boat of last year. The 23-year-old from Hertfordshire is studying for a PhD in astrophysics. He steps up from the Goldie reserve boat of the last 2 years. He's trialling with Charlie Fisher as a pair in the national setup. A winner of the boat race with the Light Blues 2 years ago when he sat in the 3-seat. Fisher went to King's College School in Wimbledon, where he says he was appalling at sport until he found that he could row.
Get ready. Oxford, Cambridge. Attention! Go!
Okay, boys. Really trusting our rhythm now. Light on the front. Light. 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 Okay, now getting a bit of squeeze in. Into. In one. Squeeze. Now. Squeeze. Squeeze. Oxford! Okay, nice guys. Okay, 134.5. Let's just keep that rebound together off a strong finish. Next stroke, go. There. 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 Okay, boys, we're sitting one leg down. I just want 10 strokes pressing on in this rhythm. On the next, ready, go. Press. There. Press. Press. Yeah, that's good. Nice. Yeah. it. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Yeah, that's it. 35 right there. Nice, boys. Okay, we're holding up. Just drilling down. Really nice, boys. In our rhythm. This is phase 2. Just past the outpost. In our rhythm. In our rhythm. In our rhythm.
And flow. And flow. Then it's Harrods. Give me more. Trust your fitness.
Stroke sides while we get through. Feel that weight in the legs. There. Right. Okay, boys, we're 30 minutes in the way. I just want to squeeze it out more. Okay. One is this through the middle of the stroke. Next stroke. Go there. Press. Press through. That's 35. Half a bit more. There. 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 Trust in our rhythm, boys. That's it. Yeah. Right onto the front and then a concerted reel. Reel. Yeah, guys, nice. They've gone out early. They're wasting all of their energy. They're just holding it.
More margin. On the feet. Press the gap. Pin. Then we'll rub it. Pin. And flow. Yeah, keep it. Set up the core.
Coming towards Harold's now. Coming into phase 3 of the race. We're going to start pressing on. Down U10. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Nice, guys. Good change. I'm holding this, sustaining this basically now to get back. Yeah, good. We're tucking them a little wide, holding them still about a length and a half down. Okay, keep that lightness onto the front together. And then run and floats. Run and floats. Run and floats. Yeah, that's it. Okay, boys, that's good. Nice. Good. Okay. We're at 200 meters. We're going to be on the Putney Bridge, and then we're going to have to start pressing it hard in our rhythm together. Just get ready for that. Yeah. Flowing nicely until then is good. Yeah, we're holding them well. Yeah, nice, boys. That's it. Yeah, good. Okay, keep that press through the finish. There. Hold through. Hold through. Hold through. Hold through. Yeah, nice, guys. Okay, boys, coming up on Hammersmith Bridge. This is 2.5k in. We're gonna go for a dark U10. Ready? Go now. Press it. Press it. Press it. Press it. Yeah, in our rhythm. We're on 35.5. Together. Together. Together.
Now. Spring. And stretch. Spring. And stretch. More margin. Spring. And stretch.
Yeah, that's it. Oxford rhythm, boys. Oxford rhythm. Oxford rhythm. Okay, boys, we're on 35.5. Drive it up to 35.5. Stay in this. Yeah, sweep it, boys. Yeah, 35.
and rock. We're stretching out rock. Spring.
Keep the focus in our nose. Yeah, nice and focused, boys. And 134.5. We're going to bring it up to 36. Stroke move. Stay tough. Stay tough. Stay tough. Now. They're on 2 weeks of clear water, but we're holding the hops of their move. Really nice. Just keep that liveliness. Through the spring. There. Yeah, that's it.
Now sitting up, get on the legs.
Yeah, good guys.
Sit up, now.
135. Holding them. Okay, boys. On a little squeeze on. We're going to raise our base speed together. Staying light on the front and just really building. Ready? Go now. Beautiful. 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 134. Get that release together. There. Okay. We're about 2.5, 3 legs of clear water down, but they're really pushing hard. We just need to keep that faith. Believe. Yeah, that's it. Okay, guys, we're starting to take it back now. We're starting to move on them. I just want to hold this rhythm through. Nice. Believe. Yeah, good. We are Oxford. We are tough.
Lift iron more, move forward. Empty the tank now. Spring. Sit up. Spring.
Around 2.3k left of this.
3 lengths open more.
This 2.3k is going to be ours. Okay, keep it right onto the front together. There. Yeah, keep that movement together. And build. Yeah, that's it. Okay, boys. Using the lats in your back. Just resist those front ends. Ready? Go. Stroke side debris. And we're past. Okay, boys, we're on 35. I need to bring it up 1 pip. 1 pip in the weight. Together, building through to a finish.
More. Pin. Inflow. Pin. Inflow. Fuck yeah, pin.
Yeah, keep that togetherness onto the front. Lightness onto the front plates. Stay light. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, boys. Come out to the next step now. 1.6 plate left.
Legs. 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 More.
Yeah, that's it. 35.5, keep it strong. Fluid around the back. Keep that faith. And you can stay strong, guys. Stay strong. Stay strong. Yeah, dig yourself in the cave. Right there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So those finishes there. Yeah! Boys! Yes. Lengthen
Last minute. Ready? Go! Step. 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 Last 40 seconds. This is I see the finish. I see the finish. Cheers for me. Go! Press. Sprint. 10 men. 9. Sprint. 27. Okay, so now from the back, flip through. Go. Guys, hard off.
Hugo, many, many congratulations. All week you've been talking about handling the occasion, handling the pressure, and goodness me, you did that today, Hugo.
Yeah, no, it was, it's so weird, you know, it's my fourth time I've raced on the course, and sitting on the start line, I felt so calm, and I was kind of struggling to deal with it, because I was, you know, every other race I've done here, I felt so nervous, and we were so ready for it, so ready, and the start was pretty level, but then, you know, kind of 30 seconds in, we started to move, and we just didn't look back. It's an incredible race.
And the guys in studio and the commentary team were talking about aggressive rowing. Was that always the game plan today, Hugo?
Yeah. I think we didn't expect it to crack so early, but yeah, the plan was to go out hard and to earn the right to win the race later on by just rowing each section minute by minute as hard as we could. And it just cracked early. We just foot down, foot on the gas, and we just kept moving. There's so much focus to, you know, just keep at it and not let them back in. It's, you know, an incredible row.
A brilliant crew as well. What about the big man and the big man's role here today?
This guy, that's been a journey, you know. We've 2 races together with Jim. You know, last year was tough. Last year was real tough. I think been a tough season. It's just been great, you know, working with guys like Jim, guys like Freddie, guys back from last year. The attitude in the squad's been so good, and yeah, I'm so glad it's all come good, all the work we did.
It's time for the two of us to look up to him. This is the moment I've been dreading all week. James, many congratulations. And Hugo this week on social media was talking about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you guys.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think we were lucky to do it 2 times, but obviously a bitter taste after last year. Good racing. Obviously, respect to Oxford in 2017 and 2018. Very formidable opponents, but I think the added impetus of sort of losing sort of that vindication of wanting to come back and put up the W. But I think the most important thing is we really bonded together and did this for Steve. You know, he's been one of the most formative people in my life, coming over here to the UK, sort of a foreign country, quite literally, knowing that this was his last year and we all went out from stroke 1. It's an interesting race in that it's almost 7K, and you might think you want to pace it. But really the race can be won or lost from that first stroke, and we knew that if we wanted to give Steve the send-off he deserved, we had to do it right from the start.
So he's leaving. So just how pivotal has Steve been? Because you're a pretty tight bunch anyway as a crew.
Absolutely. On paper sometimes these crews, I don't think his win-or-loss record is exactly representative of the coach Steve is. He's the best coach I've ever had across any sport in my entire life. And he does something really special with these guys that come here. Admittedly, I was quite terrible when I turned up to Goldie Boathouse, and he has absolutely changed my life on and off the water. An incredible man, incredible coach, and I think it's absolutely deserving that he's moving on to the national team.
Top man, James. Thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the celebrations. Good man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Stroke side debris, and we're blast. Okay boys, we're on 35.
Just indicating a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, no, indeed. It's been a long year. You know, we've been every year we obviously review what we've done in the previous year and try and make it better for the next year. And you know, this year being particularly for me being my last year in Cambridge, you know, I really wanted the boys to do well today, and they stepped up, and I couldn't be more pleased.
Was that as good as you've seen them row, somewhere in the top 3 or 4?
Yeah, they just went out for it, and we've been working on that a lot and consolidating the rhythm in the middle of the race. But they just took it by the scruff of the neck on straight one, and bang, they were off. And I'm really, really proud of them.
Did anything surprise you today?
Not really. I'm just really pleased that they went and fulfilled their potential. In this race, so many things can go wrong, so many things can happen that are unexpected, and we prepare ourselves for that stuff, and you never sort of expect it to be going, to go straight off the bat, but it did right from the first stroke. You could just tell they were on the money, and no, it was brilliant. Really, really pleased.
The blue boat won, your reserve boat won, you leave a boat club in very fine fettle.
Yeah, no, the Richard Chambers and Donald Leggett done a fantastic job with the Goldie boys. The blue boat wouldn't be what they are without the Goldie guys, and the spares as well. You probably see them around here. They're helping out a lot as well. So for me, I'm so proud of the whole team. All of the support around us as well. It's been fantastic. So this is a fantastic day of results for CUBC, and I'm really, really pleased.
Well done. Look forward to seeing you in GB kit.
Yeah, thank you.
Not an easy position to be in for you, standing here at the end of the race. How do you assess that performance?
I haven't spoken to the guys. I actually think the guys did a really good job. It felt like the kind of rowing that we wanted, and I think Cambridge were just quite a good crew. So I think in terms of our performance, I actually think we put out quite a good performance. Not always easy to lose and say it was a good performance, but there we are.
Lots of crew changes, obviously lots to be talked about in the media. Was that anything to do with what happened out there?
I don't think so, no. I actually think it's a bit of a shame that that's the story of this year's boat race. I don't think that really will have affected what we were doing.
And perhaps a little tribute perhaps to the light blues. They've had a dominant day.
I don't know if they won Osiris Blondie, did they?
Yes, all
okay,
four.
So they won all 4. They did well. Yep.
And what way back then for Oxford?
Well, I don't really see it as a way back. I think Sean's got a pretty good programme in place. I think Morgan Gailak was in my position in 2016, and like he said, I think we're still in a pretty good place as a club. I think next year they'll put out a pretty good boat. A lot of the guys returning from our crew are young guys with their best years ahead of them. So I think next year Sean will have a good amount of raw talent to work with.
Never easy. Thanks for stopping.
No worries, thanks.
Well done.
It is very much time for the celebrations, ladies and gentlemen. Joyful scenes then for Cambridge University. What a day for the university. Now 83 wins in 164 races. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party. To present the trophy, would you please welcome Charlie Scharf, Chairman and CEO of BNY Mellon. And also we're joined by the company representative, David Searle of the boat race. A very good evening to you, gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, before we bring on Cambridge University, our winners, would you please welcome our runners-up, Oxford University. Please give them a very big round of applause. Klaas Mertens, Vasilis Ragusis, Will Cahill, Anders Weiss, Will Geffen, Benedict Aldous, the President Ian Mandale, Felix Drinkall, and Zachary Thomas Johnson. Hard lines, gentlemen. And lovely to see handshakes and hugs from Cambridge University as Oxford depart the podium. It is now then time to hand over this wonderful trophy and pop a few bottles of English sparkling wine. And I know Cambridge University are looking forward to this. Would you please welcome our winners, Charles Fisher. Congratulations, Charles. Followed by Patrick Elwood. At 208 centimetres, James Letton. Dara Alizadeh. Spencer Fury. Congratulations to Finn Meeks. Rob Hearn laughing and joking on the podium. He's going to have a great night by the looks of it. Freddie Davidson, ladies and gentlemen. And the president, the main man, Hugo Ramamberson. And Hugo, just before we give you the trophy and we get the English sparkling wine open as well, just a word for your supporters and your fans here who've travelled in their numbers to support you right along the River Thames this afternoon.
Yeah, it's so loud the whole way down. I've done the race before, and I couldn't believe it. You know, the whole way down is just this incredible atmosphere. The guys in the boat, we're just all backing each other up. It's just such a privilege to compete here in front of all these people and to, you know, cap off an incredible 4 years with the team by, you know, winning with all of these great guys. Idiots they may be.
They're idiots, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Successful idiots.
Yeah, you know, we like to keep things lighthearted. Even in the warm-up, you know, Rob was laughing and joking, and you know, I was a bit stressed by it all. It's my last chance to get things right. But just everything we've done this year has been so much fun. It's been so lighthearted, and we've had a great journey and enjoyed every step of the way. So it's been a really special group to be a part of.
And also, behind the cameras there, you might not be able to see this, but there's a big gang of people who are desperate for you to get the trophy up in the air. I think we should do this. Well done, Hugo.
Yeah, wait, where's Steve?
Where's Steve? Steve is around here somewhere. I think he's behind the cameras. Anyway, we need to get the trophy up and running.
Yeah, sure.
The guys want it. Yeah. Thank you very much, Steve. Well done. Hugo Ramamberson, ladies and gentlemen.